We're going to have a look at some algebra here, some of the basic rules. I'm going to start with adding and subtracting. When you're adding and subtracting, you must keep like terms together. Now what that means is you must keep the x's together and the x squareds together, and you never combine them. So if you look at this little example here, 5x minus 4x is 1x. Then if I look at the x squared, 5x squared minus 8x squared is minus 3x squared. And I just check, there's a number on its own, so it just stays on its own. So I did the x's together, the x squareds together, and the number. Remember when you're doing that their plus belongs to the term after it, so it's positive 5x squared. That minus belongs with that term, that minus belongs with the 4, and that minus belongs with the 8x squared. Now, just to break it down even easier now, x plus x plus x plus x is just simply 4x's. 3x plus 2x is 5x, take away 2x is 3x. So that's adding and subtracting like terms. The next bit we're going to look at is multiplying terms. Remember, you leave out the multiplying sign in algebra. And the order you should do things in is this. Do the sign first, do the number next, and the letters last. So we look at this here example. You do minus, do the numbers, 3 times 2, and do the letters, x times x. Down this one here, there's no signs, there's no numbers, just do your letters. X times x times x times x is x to the 4. Next example, sign is 1 minus, the numbers, 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12, and the letters, x times x times x is x cubed. Now, if we look at the next one, just checking it's all multiplying, checking the signs, negative and a negative give me a positive, another negative gives me a... Now, basically, if you have an odd number of negative signs, the answer is going to be negative. If you have an even number of negative signs, the answer is going to be positive. So I've worked out the signs, I'm now going to do the numbers. So 5 times 5 is 25, times 4 gives me 100, 4 times 8 is 32, times your 100, 3200. Now do my letters. X times x squared is x cubed, times another x is x to the 4, times another 2 x's is x to the 6. Now the last one I have here, there are no signs, no numbers. But you've got different types of letters. Just do them in alphabetical order. X squared times x is x cubed. Y times y cubed is y4. Now, the next section I want to look at is substitution. So you put your numbers just into the expression. So 8 is A, B is minus 2, C is minus 5, A is 8. Now I would like to tidy it up before I even start that one. Minus 8 divided by 2 is 4, plus 5 eighths. Now if you're able to do that in your head, minus 4 plus 5 eighths, feel free to do that. If you can't, just treat it like adding fractions. So put that over 1. Make the bottoms the same by putting them both over 8. You have to times that one by 8, so you've got to times the top by 8, which gives you minus 32. So, minus 32 add 5. Now we tip that tends to make that easier. If you do 32 take away 5, which is 27, and then put a minus sign in front of it. Minus 27 over 8. And the last example, the next example I have there, M is minus 3. Because it's a minus sign, I'm putting a bracket around it. Minus 3 squared times n plus 3 times k, and then square root. So minus 3 squared is 9, 9 times 2 is 18. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 add 18 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6. A couple of more substitution ones to have a wee look at here before we leave this topic. This one here, G is a half, H is 1, and J is 2. So putting it in, G is a half, H is 1. 3 times J is 2 squared, add 4 times H is 1, minus 5 times G, which is a half, all over GHI, means multiplying these all together. A half times 1 times 2. Now, working this out, a half of 1 is a half. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4, minus, that's 2.5. All over, a half times 1 is a half, times 2 is 1. So you've got a half times 12 add 4 is 16. 16 take away 2 is 14. 14 take away a half is 13.5. To multiply fractions, you must make them into improper fractions, so that becomes 13 times 2 is 26, add 1, 27 over 2. Nothing cancels down. Multiply the two tops. I'm going to have a look at this one here, where A is 10, B is minus 5, C is minus 1, and D is minus a half. Putting them into this expression, first bracket is A plus C. So 10 plus 1 is 11. The second bracket is B plus C. Minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. Plus ABD. A times B is minus 50. Minus 50 times minus a half. So minus 50 times minus a half. 2 minuses give you a positive, and a half of 50 is 25. So ABD becomes 25. All over 5 times C is 1, minus 2 times B. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. So we have got minus 44, add 25 over 5 plus 10 is 15. Now if you can't work this out in your head easily, go over to the side, and the easiest way of doing that is put the big number on top, subtract the small number to give you 19, and then put a minus sign in front of it. So it's minus 19 over 15.